What's up, Grayson Report? Happy Thursday. What is up, Tammy, D Nice, Tyrana, Gunner Girl, Delay Lux, Carol, Bernadette is in the house. Brandon, how's it going? Tammy, what is up? How's everyone doing? How has your week been? And how is the weather in your neck of the woods while we wait for people to trickle in? Tammy goes good. And also, guys, I want to wish Jason Voorhees a happy birthday. It is his birthday today. He is one of my favorite slashers. He was born in 1946. What's up, Ann? How's it going? He was born in 1946 on this day today. Friday the 13th first came out in 1980. He is one of my favorite slashers. So I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. Didn't realize, I don't know, I was looking at the date and I was like, something's happening today and I don't know what. And then boom, that popped up. Bernadette goes, hot AC went out. Oh, that sucks. Tyrana goes, hot 107 today. It was, I don't know how hot. It was, I mean, it wasn't that hot here. Like compared to, it was 80 here. But it's warm for my standards. Matthew, how's it going? Wendy goes, heat wave coming in. Tammy goes, it was hot. Brandon goes, my niece was born on Friday the 13th when it landed in October. That is cool. It is my lucky number 2 as well, 13. Wendy goes, hot and humid. Oh, I don't like those mix. Or I don't like that mix, I should say. I prefer the cold. I live in the wrong state. I mean, we haven't gotten the heat yet. Usually we don't get the heat until about July. The first week of July. And then we're bombarded with heat. Aaron goes, it was 94 here and I blew a tire on my lunch break. Oh, that sucks. Dusty, how's it going? I hate when that happens. When you're like, you think you're having a good day and then boom, stuff happens with the car. That's like the worst. I hate that. D Nice, how's it going? Matthew goes, good. Hasbro Pulse has a new video on their site featuring the new Ghostbusters trap and PKE meter. Showed a little of the lights and sounds, also the EMF mode. Oh, that's cool. Chris, what is up? Marley, what is up? I got gifted yesterday, didn't realize it. Just wanted to say thanks so much. Awesome. Dusty goes, it's been sunny and hot in Hawaii as well. It was nice and breezy here too, so it wasn't too bad. Except in my car, it was hot. And then my room's kind of hot. I don't have air conditioning, so I had the fans blasting. Did anybody watch anything interesting? As we wait for people to, I'll wait a few more minutes for people to trickle in. Chris goes, I'm recovering in the hospital, got my surgery this morning. Oh, I'm glad, Chris, that you were able to finally get it. And then it looks like it went smooth or you wouldn't be in my chat. So I'm glad that you had a smooth procedure. D Nice, thank you for being a member of the Wellpack for 14 months. Damn ghost in my garage enjoying their stay. Hearts for D Nice. Thank you, D Nice. Wendy goes, Bridgerton. Oh, I know. It came out last night at midnight, I think. I have not watched it yet. I am going to watch it after the stream. I cannot wait. I'm behind on my Ghost Adventures too, so that's what I'm going to be doing, catching up. Julissa, how's it going? Joanne, what is up? Dusty goes, both my ceiling fans aren't working, so my friend brought over a fan for me. Oh, that was nice of her. Brandon had a nightmare of a Tesla truck trying to run him over on the beach. Okay. I mean, I had a weird dream last night. Julissa goes, oh, let me get Julissa. Hold on. Wait, let me tell my dream and I'll get to that, Julissa. You know what? I'm going to go off on a random with that one. But I had a dream. I don't know what it means. Both my mom and dad were in it. My dad was taking my birds away. And I only have one bird, mind you, but in this dream I had birds. And I have no idea. I ran out and I was like, why are you taking my birds? And then I woke up. So I have no idea what that dream means at all. So back to Jalissa. Julissa, I watched The Alkalite. The third episode was horrible. Guys, if if you guys aren't familiar with The Alkalite, it's Star Wars new installment on Disney Plus. You are not missing much. I agree with you on that one, Julissa. It was just, I was like this the whole time. No, we are not gonna restart. Hell no. Hold on. Open settings to adjust your active hours. Hold on. Give me a second, guys, because I don't want this to restart on me and we're gonna get in trouble. But like I was saying, I was like this the whole time. I don't know what the heck that was, but let's see. All right, I think it paused my update. We'll leave it there for a second. I don't know what I was watching, but it's not Star Wars. And in fact, like when the scene first pulled, I don't want to give away too much, but I felt like I was on the Shire when I was watching it. It was not Star Wars to me, just to give you a little glimpse. But I totally agree with you, Jalissa, that I don't know what I was watching. And I agree. It was horrible. That's okay, Chris. I'm glad that you're listening. Just try to rest up. Jalissa goes, yeah, it was awful. All right, as always, guys, Skeleduck is somewhere in my background. Just remind me by the end of the stream and I will reveal his location because I will forget. In my old age, I am forgetting. Wendy goes, what is the word when you are hypersensitive? Like you're to the spirit world, Wendy? Is that what you're talking about? Like you're open? And I could go on for days about Star Wars Alkalite, but I'm not going to do that because we are going to talk about the spooky wookie today. And have any of you guys, I could go on for days, believe me. Attuned, Joanne says. Bernadette goes, nope, I will not look for Pinchy Skeleduck. He always wins. Anne goes, I have this dream a lot. I'm on vacation in California. I am in a car chase. Sometimes I'm trying to get away. Sometimes I am the police. That is an interesting dream. All right, guys. Have any of you guys heard of the Bennington Triangle? It's a bit spooky wooky and it's a bit true crime. But as I always say, true crime is hand in hand with the spooky wookie. Dusty watched High Crime with Morgan Freeman. It's a real creepy ending. I don't think I've seen that. D Nice goes, no, sounds kinky. And goes, I always almost die every time. Ooh. Me, it's probably telling you something that's going on deep, like in your life, that's stressing you out, maybe. And goes, no. Tyrana goes, no. All right, I had never heard of it either, but I found it kind of interesting. I do like to deep dive into true crime every once in a while. Julissa goes, no, but I think I found Skeledeck. Just remind me by the end of the stream, because I will forget. I'll go on some tangent and I'll forget. So this is inside the unsolved disappearances of the Bennington Triangle. Some suspect a serial killer, while others point a finger at the paranormal, but nobody has been able to fully explain the mysterious disappearances from Vermont's Bennington Triangle and Glastonbury Mountain. Followers of folklore and aficionados of the paranormal are likely familiar with the Bermuda Triangle and perhaps even southeastern Massachusetts Bridgewater Triangle, but one lesser known relative of these areas holds more than its fair share of tantalizing mysteries: the Bennington Triangle of Vermont. Dubbed as such by author Joseph A. Citro, the Bennington Triangle is a loosely defined area that encompasses the ghost town of Glastonbury, once a small logging community centered on the eponymous mountain in southwestern Vermont. So this is a picture of Grout Pond and Glastonbury Mountain. Glastonbury Mountain at the heart of the Bennington Triangle. Bennington Triangle. It is a beautiful area. That is a beautiful area. Chris goes, I think I have heard of it. And I don't think your dreams are your future. I just think it's probably telling you something. Maybe you're stressing out about something. Maybe. I am not sure. I have to look that one up. Usually when I have weird dreams, I Google them. Wendy goes, but of course, New England. Abandoned at the end of the 19th century after the end of the logging boom, the greater Glastonbury area is now mostly untouched, pristine wilderness and is considered remote even by Vermont standards. Starting with a string of missing persons over 70 years ago, the now abandoned town has been the eerie setting of numerous unexplained disappearances, unsolved mysteries, and bizarre sightings that continue to this day. A string of disappearances begin in the mid 20th century. In 1945, a 5-year span of disappearances began in the Bennington Triangle with the vanishing of Middle Rivers, a 74 or Midi Rivers. I read it middle because that's how Midi Rivers. I apologize, Midi Rivers. A 74-year-old local hunting guide, Rivers, led a party of 4 hunters around the area of Hell Hollow in the southwest woods of Glastonbury before he was suddenly lost. After an unsuccessful initial search, many still believed that this knowledgeable woodsman would be able to survive and soon surface in town. However, this was not the case. Soon, more than 3,000 concerned locals and U.S. Army soldiers dispatched from Massachusetts Fort Devens combed through the vast wilderness for 8 days, turning up not a single shred of evidence as to the whereabouts of Rivers. The following year, saw arguably the most infamous missing persons case in Vermont history, the disappearance of Paula Weldon. So this is a picture of the beautiful Paula Weldon. She went missing in 1946. Weldon was an 18-year-old student at Bennington College who decided to hike a leg of the long trail during Thanksgiving break when most of her peers had returned home for holiday. Last seen on Sunday, December 1st, 1946, wearing easy to spot red and entering the long trail near Glastonbury Mountain, Weldon never showed up for her Monday classes, spurring a massive search party of more than 1,000 people and a reward of $5,000. Wendy goes, I worked for that site at Nash Nashuba Valley. Joanne goes, he should have had a compass. He is a guide. Is he not? True. True. Despite the large turnout, numerous aircrafts utilized and variety of assisting law enforcement departments, no clues to her fate were ever discovered. Many, including Weldon's father, criticized the authorities' lack of sophisticated methods in handling the case, which actually served as the catalyst for the founding of the Vermont State Police 7 months later. The case remains open to this day. It's weird. They never closed that case, so it has been open since 1946. That is crazy. Tales told in the dark. What is up? Exactly 3 years to the day after the vanishing of Paula Weldon, the Bennington Triangle saw one of its more seemingly supernatural disappearances. That day, a 60-year-old man named James E. Tedford boarded a bus to Bennington after visiting relatives in St. Albans, Vermont. Numerous eyewitnesses, including the driver, later confirmed that Tedford had been in his seat as late as the last stop before Bennington. Yet, when his bus finally pulled into Bennington, Tedford was nowhere to be found. After he implausibly vanished into thin air while inside a moving vehicle, baffled passengers noticed that Tedford's luggage and an open bus timetable remained on his seat. If the witnesses are correct, Tedford would have disappeared from his seat as the bus was traveling down Route 7 through the Bennington Triangle. So this is Route 7 up in Vermont, north of Glastonbury, and this is where they said they think that he had disappeared out of nowhere in the bus, which is kind of weird. Nearly a year later, in mid-October of 1950, 8-year-old Paul Jepson went missing. He was last seen happily playing in the family pickup truck by his mother, who left to tend to pigs at the dump where she and her husband were caretakers. Then he vanished without a trace. In addition to the hundreds assembled for a search party, a New Hampshire sheriff brought in a bloodhound to sniff out the missing boy. The dog was able to pick up his scent, but abruptly lost the trail at a nearby crossroads, suggesting a possible abduction by a motorist. As the case dragged on without resolution, some suggested that Jepson met an early demise at the hands of his parents and was dinner for the pigs. What? But in keeping with the eerie feeling of Bennington Triangle, the boy's father told the Albany Times Union that it was perhaps the lure of the mountains that pulled in his missing son, as the boy had talked of nothing else for days prior to his disappearance. That's what I was thinking, Wendy. Pigs at the dump? Chris goes, Vermont is so beautiful in the fall. Just by those pictures, that I've never been there, but it looks beautiful. Gorgeous. Dusty Lean goes, that's a lot of money for those days. It is. It is. Only about 2 weeks later, 53-year-old Frida Langer, an experienced hiker and survivalist familiar with the area, went missing on the Somerset area of the Long Trail bordering East Glastonbury. After hiking a brief half mile with her cousin Herbert Eisner, Langer fell into a stream and set back to their camp to change her clothes, where her husband was resting with a hurt knee. But neither her husband nor her cousin ever saw her again. Helicopters from the Connecticut Coast Guard and U.S. Army in Massachusetts, as well as local aircrafts from citizens and the Vermont Aeronautics Commission, helped search for Langer. As many as 400 people, including the Massachusetts National Guard, meticulously searched the surrounding areas, yet found nothing. But soon they did find something, and this became the only known disappearance of the Bennington Triangle where a body has turned up. 6 months after she went missing, Linger's corpse was found near the Somerset Reservoir, curiously, an open area that had been searched extensively numerous times in the previous months. Yet, even with a body, the case saw little resolution. The body had decayed so badly that no cause of death could be determined, only fueling further speculation about what kind of disturbing end she might have had. It could have been maybe she came face to face with a, I don't know what kind of animals roam that area, but maybe she came face to face with a bear. Carol goes, I used to deliver futon on Route 7. It's a beautiful area. Wendy goes, pigs will devour a corpse. Wendy goes, there's no state taxes in New Hampshire. If you guys are looking for a place with no state taxes, that's always good. Theories about the Bennington Triangle. The intriguing mysteries and unexplained events associated with the Bennington Triangle have caused many to speculate widely about the possibility of nefarious and perhaps paranormal forces at work, a notion bolstered by alleged UFO and Bigfoot sightings in the region. Others believe that the burst of missing persons between 1945 and 1950 may have been the work of a serial killer, but the sheer lack of evidence to back this up, as well as the variety in the victims' ages and genders defying the usual patterns of serial killers, likely rules out that theory as well. But Carol goes, there are food and property taxes. Others still contended that the disappearance met their demise at the claws of an indigenous mountain cat, such as a lynx, bobcat, or cougar. However, bobcat and lynx are not known to be aggressive to humans, and mountain lions have not been credibly sighted since before 1940. All in all, when trying to tie the disappearances together in hopes of discovering a solution to the mysteries, there is little to go on. The only known similarity between the most well documented cases in the Bennington Triangle are the close proximities of the disappearance, the time of day when most were last seen between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., and the time of year when most were last seen the final 3 months of the year. And with little in the way of evidence, paranormal theories concerning the cases have taken hold. For those interested in the paranormal, such theories dovetail and other more recent odd occurrences in the Bennington Triangle area. These occurrences include terrifying voices allegedly showing up on dead air radio, sightings of mysterious figures, unexplained navigation mishaps, and planes that mysteriously crash. Thus, it's no surprise that the Bennington Triangle attracts those with a penchant for the eerie to this day. So, guys, what do you think is causing those missing, those disappearances? It's kind of weird because the only thing that matches is the time of day, um, and the time of year, basically. But there's no real explanation as to why these people would go missing, and only one body has been found, and it was so decomposed. Dusty goes, we get wild pigs at our dump transfer stations. I've heard them in the bushes while I have been getting drinking water at the spigots. Oh, cool. It makes no sense. The only thing I could think of is possibly an animal, but then that article also had said that a mountain cat hadn't been seen prior to the 40s, I believe it had said. Chris goes aliens. D Nice goes good question. Possibility aliens. You never know. There's people that think that aliens are already here living among us. Julissa goes, they get lost maybe, but then for this long and not be found. But they're also saying it kind of like the planes crash too as well. And then there's some I guess it also said something about like planes go crashing. So it could be similar to the Bermuda Triangle. Chris goes, I blame aliens for everything. Matthew goes, there's a big cat walking around in my county in Florida. Matthew, be careful. But there's no way, it's like baffling. It really is. This is like one thing that there's no explanation to. And they could not examine the one body that they had found, even though they had done an extensive search in that area and found nothing, but later they found the body, which makes no sense. But because it was so decomposed, they could not, that you really can't, test anything off of something that's decomposed. So there's no explanation. Carol goes, it sounds like someone kidnapped her and killed her and then dumped her after the search was done. Just an option. That's what they were thinking. They were thinking maybe possibly a serial killer, but serial killers usually have a motive. And a motive and a what you call it. They usually have people that I don't know the word for it, or people that they're attracted to that's in their MO. And I guess in this case, they were all different types of people. So it kind of dismissed that. Which is a possibility. It could have been some serial killer that didn't have an MO and wanted to keep people on their toes. Because also there was a missing boy that went missing as well. So it's kind of strange. Wendigo's dumped after the fact or the crime. It's a possibility. I was thinking maybe bears. I don't know. The article didn't mention if there were bears in the area, but I was thinking a bear maybe got them. But then they would have found a body, though, I felt like. More than one body, I should say. Dusty goes, how often between are these incidences? Could be a serial abduction thing. It looks like it was like a couple years. It wasn't because one of them occurred in 1946. One of them, the first one I think occurred 1945 was the first one. 1946 was the next one. Three years after the vanishing of the second one, which was in 1946, someone went missing. So it's a big time gap between them. Then in 1950, someone went missing. Then 2 weeks later, that's when the hiker went missing. The only one to where they had found the body to. Chris goes, Bigfoot? Tyrana goes, that's what I was thinking. Maybe a bear? Wendy's saying it's the pig farmers. She's like, it's nobody else. It's the pig farmers. They fed it to the pigs. Wake Sheepberry, how's it going? Carol goes, like the movie Zandu, I think the name of it. But in that, the girl survived but fell in love with her capture. Wendy goes, bears goes for all the vital organs. I believe so. I am not sure. I'm not too familiar with bears. We haven't really had, I mean, we've had bear sightings, but I don't think we've had a bear attack in a while here. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't think a bear would eat someone. I think they're just attacking you because they don't know who you are. I could be wrong though. Okay, it says man-eating bear attacks are uncommon, but as known to occur when the animals are diseased or natural prey is scarce, often leading them to attack and eat anything they are able to kill. So I guess it's possible, but it just depends on the situation. But it's not common. Wake Shafe Berry goes, vital organs are the lion's share as the head lion takes the organs. I don't know if there's any. Well, they said that there weren't any big cats in the area. So it's kind of unexplained as to what happened. Wendy goes, we had to unalive a rabid raccoon 2 years ago. It was horrible. Luckily, I haven't came across a rabid animal because I don't think I ever want to. I've seen them in television documentaries, and I don't think I ever want to come face to face with one. Dusty goes, which I did not know, bears in the national forest tend to be attracted to cosmetics on women. Huh. All I know is, note to self, I will not be hiking in that area. I don't want to end up missing. If I come back alive, I will tell you. I do not want to end up missing like those other people. But then that's the only thing that it stops at like 1950. It doesn't continue after that. So I'm wondering if there's been any other disappearances in that area since then. But I still don't want to take my chances. Or don't go alone. Because it seems like the people were alone. Wake Shape Perry goes, Yogi and Boo Boo are vicious. Wendy goes, I only hike with my man. I kind of hike alone, but it's usually just at the local trails that I know those trails, and they're usually loop trails. So I'm okay when I hike alone there. If it was like a super long hike, then yeah, I probably wouldn't go by myself. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Heather Salvatore for her PayPal. She says, keep smiling. Hearts for Heather Salvatore. I know she's on the East Coast, so sometimes she can make it and sometimes she can't, but I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thank you, Heather. You're awesome. Hearts for Heather Salvatore, guys. Thank you. Since Chris mentioned aliens in the chat, I found this article that they think, or whoever wrote this article, secret UFO civilization, aliens could be here on Earth already. Harvard scientists. So the scientists think that aliens are here already. Wake Shape Barry goes, I wouldn't go on a long hike by myself unless I had my mate Bigfoot. UFOs could be living among humans, researchers from Harvard and Montana Technological University says. Researchers at Harvard University and Montana Technological University speculated that an unidentified technologically advanced population could be living among humans secretly on Earth. And I know in previous streams, some of you had said they could be here already. In a new paper, or should it be newspaper? In a new paper, the team hypothesized that sightings of UFOs or UAP and unidentified anomalous phenomena may reflect activities of intelligent beings concealed in stealth here on Earth. For example, underground and or its near environs. For example, the moon and or even walking among us, passing as humans. So like They Live, like the movie They Live. The researchers admitted that their research was likely to be regarded skeptically by most scientists, but urged the scientific community to consider their claim in a spirit of epistemic humility and openness. In the paper, the scientists explained the hypothesis for aliens on Earth. The researchers said that they believe that the remnant forms, which are an ancient, highly advanced human civilization, are walking among humans on Earth. The research also shared the possible existence of a non-human underground civilization that may be descendants of the unknown intelligent dinosaurs. The Descent. If you guys are familiar with the movie Descent. Third, Dusty goes, yes, shape changers or shape shifters. Third, there could be hidden occupants likened to earthbound angels or fairies on Earth that have traveled to Earth. So scientists are giving an existence to fairies here in this article. Heather, whatever, what's up? The research papers quotes former House Representative Mike Gallagher, who suggested last year that one explanation for the UFO sightings might be an ancient civilization that's just been hiding here for all this time and is suddenly showing itself right now. Gallagher's comment came after UFO whistleblower David Grush testified under oath that his life was threatened and he was instructed to keep quiet about a secret government-run crashed UFO retrieval program. So he had the Men in Black come after him. Grush's explosive testimony in July of 2023 claimed that the U.S. government absolutely has UFO tech and biologics of non-human origins since the 30s and knows the exact location where they are being held. So, guys, do you believe, and I know some of you had stated this in a previous stream, but do you guys believe that aliens are among us? As I know Dusty had said shapeshifters. Joanne says yes. But do you believe that they look like us, possibly, or are they living underground, as the article suggests, or they had come here to Earth? I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical. I don't dismiss the existence of extraterrestrials, but I'm still a little skeptical when it has to have them coming here to Earth. But I feel like they would be more scared of us and probably run away because of everything they hear. Because I'm pretty sure if they have better technology than us, I'm pretty sure they're listening to, the waves, the radio waves, and the telephone calls and all that kind of stuff. They'll be like, hell no, I don't want to go down there. But plus I've never seen a UFO in the sky ever. I've never been at the right place at the right time, which I'm hoping to one day. To solidify the existence of extraterrestrials coming to Earth. Joanne goes, they got their eyes on us. Julissa goes, I don't know, I'm skeptical too. Wendy goes, never have I ever seen a UFO, but I want to believe. I'm right there with you, Wendy. I want to believe. Chris thinks her nurse is an alien. Wake Shapeberry goes, depends on how you define aliens. True. Very true. Tyrana goes, yes, there has to be. Joanne goes, I've seen a OFO. Joanne, what's an OFO? Wake Shapeberry goes, permafrost is melting. New organisms are being released. True. That's true. Depends on what you're talking about when it comes to aliens. I am talking about the the little green men, which might not necessarily look like Gary here, but that's the aliens I think they might be referring to. Also how they're depicted in the movies as well. Chris goes, I want to see one. I'm right there with you, Chris. Heather, whatever goes, they're just here for the Big Macs. I don't like trust. There are I mean, I don't eat meat, but there are better burgers out there than Big Macs. Trust me. When I ate meat, I avoided McDonald's like a plague. Carol goes, I believe that there are other forms of life in our universe. Yeah. Joanne, a UFO that just smoked a reefer. They very well may be walking. I mean, our neighbor could be an alien for all I know, and they could be running a special operation out of their house, and I have no idea that they're doing that. You know, that's a possibility. That's crazy to think, but Carol goes, so why not here on our planet too? I feel like I was saying at the beginning, I feel like they would kind of sway away, but they do exactly what we do. If we find anything new, we examine it, we try to discover what it is, we give it a name, whatever it may be. So I feel like they are no different than us, except their technology wise. I do believe that they have better technology than we do. You obviously have to travel through galaxies because we can't do that yet. We would age or die possibly before we reach another galaxy. Joanne goes, they are here and real. Heather, whatever goes, my neighbor in one direction is the Grinch. I love the rest. Anne goes, I need to believe life like us needs something like us. So I feel like it is plausible, but I just need a little more proof. I've always just needed, but I do want to believe. I've got the poster behind me, the I want to believe poster. Joanne goes, as a planet, we are idiots ruining our planet. I kind of feel like there's some truth to that, Joanne, because I feel like there's people that don't respect nature as much as others do. Dusty goes, I have no doubt, just look at their influences on the pyramids. Julissa goes, if life existed in other galaxies, I don't think they'd be able to get here. I think they would, because I feel like I believe that they do have better technology. So I feel like they would be able to. I mean, we're not even like kind of like Star Trek level. I feel like they would. And thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome. Lamichi, the Miracle Cat, Cindy, R. Farrell, and Carbonized Stardust, to the Wolf Pack, and Heather whatever. Hearts for Anne and all the new Wolf Pack members. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. You are awesome. But there's always going to be that debate, because there's going to be people that are true believers that are like, yes, they're coming here. I've been abducted. My neighbor was abducted. I am a true believer. They're a Mulder from the X-Files, because Mulder believed in little green men. That is what got him into the X-Files, was because of his sister. So I am still a little bit of Scully, and I will always still be a little bit of Scully. Wake Sheepberry goes, aliens probed me. So I hope they sterilize the probe first. But I am open to Wendy goes, X-Files, I'm team in between. That's kind of where I'm a believer in some things, but I'm skeptical in other things, but I still have that skeptical approach, if you get what I'm saying. Joanne goes, when I saw that UFO, I wanted to be abducted. I had no idea. I'm going down a little road, I had no idea that David Duchovny, who played Fox Mulder, and Gillian Anderson, who played Dana Scully, hated each other. Now they don't, but during the filming, they did, and I had no clue. And if you're familiar with the X-Files, you know that they had that chemistry that everybody wanted them to like be a couple and all that kind of stuff thing through it. And of course, Chris Carter like teased that. Never had him kiss, I think, until the movie. Brandon goes, "What is the Pinche Duck doing?" I don't know, Brandon. Joanne go, "They never took me or my friend. The lights just hung there in the sky for about 20 minutes. I would want to go because I want to see what's up. I mean, it's probably gonna be a scary. It's probably gonna be scary though." Heather, whatever goes, "I just like to watch cable TV at a Holiday Inn and have free breakfast. No way on a UFO." True, very true. You don't know how your hosts are gonna treat you on a UFO. You do not. All right, guys. I know some of y'all are in. Heather, whatever goes, no free breakfast by green men. Joanne goes, "Would be scary, but I told my friend that they would force us to have S." Oh, yeah, you never know. You never know, Joanne. You never know. Because we would probably do the same thing, honestly, if you think about it, Joanne. We would do the same thing. If we came across two aliens, we that had different body parts, we probably would do the same thing. That's the sad thing about it. So I don't fault them for doing what they're doing. They're just trying to figure out who we are, and we do the same thing. We're trying to figure out what they are. I don't want to be probed. I agree with you, Wink Shapeberry. They trust me, they would. If they were trying to figure out how aliens mated, they would do that. Trust me. They would. They would test every possible angle they could possibly test. Carbonites goes, "I personally think that if the same cosmic goo that created us also created life elsewhere, they probably look like us. Just my conspiracy theory or whatever. That's a possibility." Joanne goes, "Also being forced, can't say anyone flirted." That too. That's going to happen. Trust me, they'll do the same thing because they're trying to figure out who we are. So we'll do the same exact thing to them. So I don't fault them for doing that. I really don't. I don't. I find it plausible, but I need proof. I need to go on. I need to get abducted. Or see it for myself type of thing. Without the probing. So I found this article. This is a to the LA area. So for those of us that are in the LA area here in SoCal, I found Wendy goes plausible but weird spin. I found this article. It's haunted hotspots inside LA's eerie nightlife scene. Party here if you dare. Los Angeles is known for its killer party scene, but it is also famous for its legendary ghost stories. In fact, Several of the city's most iconic nightlife venues are said to be haunted, attracting thrill-seeking tourists and curious locals for decades. From Hollywood hotels still frequented by dead celebs to dive bars run by gangster ghosts, explore our list of reportedly haunted LA hotspots. The first one I have never heard of, the Millennium Biltmore Hotel. If these walls could talk, the Biltmore is rich in Tinseltown history. Here, Al Capone made himself comfortable in the presidential suite. Rocky boxed his way to history on the ballroom, and the Academy Awards were hosted in the 30s. Taylor Swift has even danced on the reception's desks. However, what this downtown hotel is probably most famous for its dark history. Dubbed the Black Dahlia after her gruesome murder. Oh, maybe I have, because I have talked about the Black Dahlia. Actress Elizabeth Short was last seen alive at the Biltmore on January 9th of 1947. Now, as one of LA's most, but I didn't see a picture of it, so that's probably... Now, as one of LA's most notorious victims, she has a cocktail named after her made with vodka, chambered black raspberry liquor, and Kahlua, which is a popular order at the Gallery Bar and Cognac Room. In addition to the Dahlia connection, paranormal activity is said to be prevalent at the downtown hotel. The elevator regularly stops on the 8th floor for no reason, and guests have reported seeing the ghost of a nurse on the 2nd floor and the ghost of 2 kids running across the balcony in the gorgeous crystal ballroom. Well-known yogi Paramahansa Yoganatha's spirit allegedly lives here too. He died in the music room, now the lobby, of a heart attack in 1952. It is located at 506 South Grand Avenue in Los Angeles for anybody who is interested in visiting. It looks like, just by looking at this picture, it looks like an awesome place to stay. I do like old hotels and old architecture, so it'd be pretty cool. Heather whatever stayed at the Biltmore when she was little. Oh, that is super cool. Lisa Boo, how's it going? So the next one is the Magic Castle. You can only come here if you are invited. It's like a super ritzy, is what I heard. It's like a super ritzy place. It's like you have to, like, super formal. Heather whatever goes, my dad took us when he graduated from college. Oh, that is so cool. That is cool. Billing itself as the most unusual private club in the world, the Magic Castle is an ultra-exclusive nightclub for musicians and magic enthusiasts. But offstage is where you find plenty of unusual and unearthly happenings around the Hollywood property. There's the Houdini seance room that guests have used to make contact with the spirit world. The music room is said to be occupied by a piano-playing ghost named Irma, while a phantom bartender from the days of old has been seen serving up drinks at Hat and Hare, just one of the 5 bars inside the castle. In the haunted cellar, the ghost of a young girl has been seen wandering the halls. And if that's not chilling enough, several people have actually died at the Magic Castle, including the original owner of the house, Rollins B. Lane, and a beloved musician who committed S just before he was supposed to go on stage. Just know, if you're looking to go ghost hunting here, make sure you have an inn. Magic Castle is only open to its members and their lucky invited guests. And it is off of Franklin Avenue. And I have seen it at a distance. I've never been there. I know someone who has been there. And it's super ritzy, like super formal. I've never wanted to go there but if I ever got invited, I would go, of course, but I've never wanted to go there. But I've heard that it's fun. Carol goes, I don't think they'll let me stay there. I don't own any clothes that super formal. Me, I don't either, Carol. I'm a jeans and a t-shirt kind of girl. When when some of my DJs are at a club, I kind of pass on clubs because they expect you to wear formal clothes. And I'm like, dude, I just want to go see my favorite DJ and the clothes I want to wear. I don't want to be all I'm not there to pick up or anything. Like, come on. I just want to go and be comfortable, not ritzy in high heels. But if I ever got invited, I probably would find something to wear to go, but it wouldn't be like a fancy dress or anything. I'm not a dress person. The Chateau Marmont. A long-time hangout for the A-list crowd, the Chateau Marmont has a star-studded history of spooks. Comedian Jim Belushi was found dead in bungalow number 3 after a hard partying in 1982, while doomed starlets such as Sharon Tate and Natalie Wood stayed here shortly before their deaths. Guests and hotel employees have reported windows opening on their own, furniture moving, the sounds of voices when no one's there, even apparitions of floating heads. Ghosts of famous celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe, Howard Hughes, Boris Karloff, and Jim Morrison have also been said to have made appearances at the chateau. Spy on these spirits while sipping on a martini inside the lobby bar or at the cozy table on the idyllic garden terrace. I think when I looked into this hotel, it's super expensive to stay in. It's like $500 a night or something like that. If I'm thinking of the right hotel, it's like $400. If I might be mistaken, guys, so don't quote me. And this hotel is off of Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood for anybody that wants to know. Wake Shave Barry goes after hours. You don't have to wear a dress. Carol goes flannel shirts, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and jeans with hiking boots. Carol also says, I do own one dress and some semi-formal shirts I have a pair of nice black pants and a nice shirt and a pair of docks that I only wear that they're brand new practically that I only wear for, fancy occasions, which I rarely go to. Because I would show up in jeans and a t-shirt. I'm more comfortable. Brandon goes, I would haunt places for vodka. The Victorian. The Victorian is one of Santa Monica's best party spots, but it's also one of the spookiest. The home was originally built near the Hotel Miramar in 1892 before it moved to its current Heritage Square location in 1973. Its last caretaker was an elderly lady named Delia, and no one is quite sure who she was or where she disappeared to when the house was moved. Some say she never left, as her ghost has been reportedly spotted in the basement tavern bar. Staff has also reported strange nighttime noises, opening doors, flickering lights, and footsteps when parties go home. And this house is off of Main Street in Santa Monica. Carol goes, do fatigues count? I have those too. Technically, fatigues are kind of formal if you think of it. The Yamashiro, which by this picture looks amazing. Perched over Hollywood Boulevard, the Yamashiro is known as having one of the best views in town, but it comes with some serious creeps. In 1949, Thomas O. Glover bought the exotic hillside Japanese-inspired bungalow from the previous owners, where it once operated a brothel. He and his wife are said to still walk the inner courtyard where their ashes were laid to rest. And that's just the beginning. On the grounds, which include a 600-year-old pagoda, security guards have consistently reported strange bumps in the night. Filling Brave Reserve Table number 9 in the Sunset Room. It's said to be the place where an unhappy lady spirit sits, waiting endlessly for her guests to arrive. And this is off of Sycamore Avenue in Los Angeles. So I'm wondering, because it just says the unhappy lady spirit is waiting endlessly for a guest to arrive at table 9. So what happens when you do arrive? Does she become happy? Do you have to buy her a drink? Or because it doesn't go in depth? Or does she or do you feel like a phantom slap on the face or something? I don't know. It doesn't say. It is a beautiful location though. And no doubt, I wouldn't put it past that the previous owners do walk the ground, since their ashes are there. It makes sense. Wing shaped berry. The Formosa Cafe. At Formosa Cafe, keep an eye out for Gangster's Ghost. The recent restored 80-year-old bar, which is beautiful on the inside, was once a well known hideout for the notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, and his gambling operations were run out of the old red train car inside Formosa. Siegel's floor safe is still embedded in the floor under his favorite table, and years ago, a psychic medium was summoned to ask for his permission before it was cracked open. Spoiler alert, it was empty. Today, it is exposed and illuminated in its original location. Since they opened the safe, staff and patrons have occasionally reported Siegel has been seen and heard by many members of the staff. He's probably going, "Where's my money?" And he's not the only ghost of Formosa. Former owner Lem Kwan has been reported sitting in his favorite booth, number 8, and he supposedly pinches employees who are slacking off, which he did in real life. There have also been reports of a man sitting in a booth, but you can only see him through his reflection in the bar's large mirror. That is spooky. Bartenders have also claimed someone plays Frank Sinatra's rendition of New York, New York on repeat late at night. Perhaps it is the ghost of the singer himself, or maybe one of his famous friends like Marilyn Monroe, Lana Turner, Ava Gardner, Humphrey Bogart, James Dean, or Elvis Presley, who were all loyal patrons of the Formosa. It is located off of Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood. I was thinking, gosh, Marilyn Monroe is everywhere. She was even at that person's wedding. The one that married the ghost. Dusty goes, I used to walk. She retracted her message. Townhouse and Del Monte Speakeasy. The Townhouse is Venice's oldest bar in its basement, now the home to 1930s themed Del Monte Speakeasy, was a true speakeasy during the Prohibition era. Back then, the secret bar hid its booze in underground tunnels, which are now used as utility hallways. Some say former proprietor Frank Bennett, who owned the bar from 1972 until his death in 2003, still haunts his favorite corner booth across from the bar. One woman even reported her hair being pulled when she was alone in the bathroom washing her hands. Sheesh. And this one is in Venice. Heather, whatever goes, that makes me wonder. Ghosts aren't that mobile. I don't think, it's kind of weird for me to think that it seems like every hotel I've practically mentioned, they mentioned Marilyn Monroe. So, and this next one, the Hollywood Roosevelt, she's also known to be here as well. So I'm like, dang, it's either that or she had a lot of places that she loved, and that's where she's hanging out after death in the afterlife. So I don't know. That's a good question, Heather. Whatever. Dusty Lane goes, I used to walk the 5-star hotels on my day off in Seattle, dressed appropriately. No one ever approached me. That's awesome, though. That's awesome, Dusty. You got to do a little exploring. Heather, whatever goes, Marilyn Monroe takes a private jet in the afterlife. Heather, whatever. That is super cool, Carol. I stayed at a 4-star hotel when I was in a car accident in Illinois. That's where the state police put me up for a couple of nights until I got my rental car, and the hotel gave a steak dinner for my B day. That is super cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. The Hollywood Roosevelt. There's more to the Hollywood Roosevelt. I have actually been in this hotel. I've been in this area too, in this picture with the pool area for It was an after party for it was a Netflix show about gangsters, but I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago. Before the pandemic. More than a couple of years ago. But I have been there. I've never seen anything, but then again, it was like party atmosphere with loud music, so you can't during that kind of time you're really not going to notice anything because there's a lot of people around, but the hotel, which opened in 1927, is crowded with superstar spirits. Handsome actor Montgomery Clift has been blamed for patting guests' shoulders and watching maids in room 928, where he stayed for 3 months while filming From Here to Eternity. The ghost of Marilyn Monroe has been reported enjoying her old suite, 1200. Shortly after her death, the actress, see, here she is again. Shortly after her death, the actress's image reportedly appeared in a large mirror inside the hotel and was supposedly reappeared many times since. The ghost of classic film star Carol Lombard, who died in a plane crash in 1942, has also been spotted floating around the upper floors. In the Blossom Room, where the first Oscars were held, 2 ghosts, one in a tuxedo and one in a white suit, have been documented. High-profile S's have happened here as well, including former child actor Tom Conlone, who checked in one afternoon in 1940 to make his second S attempt of the day. This is on Hollywood Boulevard. It is right. It's right near the Chinese theater, and I have been here, but I've never experienced anything. But again, I wasn't there long enough to probably experience anything, and there was a party. Wendy goes, Monroe got around in life and apparently in death. Exactly. She's everywhere. Wink Shapeberry goes Montgomery Clift, The Clash. And this is the place that actually led me to this article because I saw something about the El Cid. El Cid, Silver Lake's El Cid is rumored to be one of the active paranormal hotspots in the city. Glasses smashing, lights turning on and off, the bathroom door slamming and locking from the inside on its own. Dolls moving in their display cases and beer bottles floating across the bar have all been reported here. In fact, it's a well-known thing that employees here refuse to close up alone. The bar does have some creepy roots. In 1927, the building was converted into a jail-themed cafe, complete with waitresses dressed as guards and prisoners. Even the stone wall along Sunset Boulevard resembles prison walls, complete with a watchtower. After operating as the Cabaret Concert Theater, a favorite night spot among television and film producers, talent scouts, agents, and celebrities during Hollywood's golden age, flamenco dancers Juan Talavera and Margarita Cordova opened the venue as El Cid and remodeled the building in the style of a 16th century Spanish tavern. Today, some people swear they have heard guitar playing coming from an empty stage, which some believe is the ghost of Gino D'Ari, a flamenco guitarist who passed away in 2007. This one is also, it's off of Sunset Boulevard. I have never driven past here, but that sounds like a cool place to visit. The HMS Bounty. Mr. Ruck Gaming, how's it going? Joanne goes, what does El Cid mean in English? Good question. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. El Cid in English. Okay, El Cid comes from the Spanish Arabic Al Cid, meaning the Lord or the Master, and he earned that name during his lifetime because of his military prowess. That is crazy. That was a good question, Joanne. The HMS Bounty, located in the bottom floor of the Gaylord Apartments, the HMS Bounty is a 1920s era nautical bar built by Gaylord Wilshire Yes, that's who Wilshire Boulevard is named after, which I had no clue. He actually created the Miracle Mile by building it atop the city dump, which has been a popular place to dump murdered bodies as well. Wow, I did not know that, and I don't know if anybody wanted to know that too. Some women who have used Bounty's ladies' room have reported feeling pinched, perhaps from the leering phantom real estate developer who was known for his big ego. If I felt a pinch, I would slap him. I don't care if it's a ghost or not. I'd be like, whoosh. I might piss him off, but that's all right. The Musso and Frank. As the oldest restaurant in Hollywood, it's no surprise Musso and Frank Grill has its share of supernatural activity. Opened over 100 years, it celebrates its centennial in 2019. Musso and Frank has welcomed many celebrities over the decades, with a few lingering in the afterlife. Errol Flynn, Orson Welles, and Jean Harlow's ghost have all reportedly been spotted here. Regulars maintain that the ghost of Charlie Chaplin can still be found cozily settled in the booth where he dined every day for years and was always kept ready for him. Number 1, in the old room right by the window. There have also been alleged sightings of a headless spirit running around, whoever that may be. Wendy goes, it's a pig farm. El Carmen was first opened by widower Encarnacion Gomez in the late 1920s and went on to become notorious on the LA scene. Cecil B. DeMille, Ricardo Montalban, Nat King Cole, Loretta Young, Vincent Price, and John Wayne were all regulars here, while the classic lineup of Fleetwood Mac was formed over tequilas here back in the 70s. But behind the scenes, employees have long felt cold spots in the Mexican restaurant, experienced unidentified electrical problems, and reported boxes falling off shelves in the upstairs office. They have also been mysterious gifts of candy found, but from whom? Gomez was known for being sweet long ago and used to hand out treats from a candy bowl behind the till to her favorite customers. So some believe it's her ghost. Others think the hauntings can be credited to Gomez's stepdaughter, Martha Polino, who was a member of the Magic Castle and worked as a manager at El Carmen for 30 years. That is a weird looking hotel, the Jajorian. The Jajorian Hotel. I've heard of this hotel. It sounds familiar. Known as one of the most haunted spots in Santa Monica, the Jajorian Hotel was opened in 1933, converted into an apartment in the 60s, and back to a hotel in the 1990s. Today, some guests and staff allege the spirit of former tenants still linger, pointing out examples of the front desk getting phone calls from unoccupied rooms and hearing voices in the former speakeasy space. When the restaurant is entirely empty, employees have reported hearing loud sighs and gasps and have been startled by a disembodied voice who greets them with good morning. I would say good morning back. At other times, the sounds of running footsteps are heard throughout the restaurant with no one when no one is there. And this one is also in Santa Monica. Those were some cool places. Heather Rutter goes, hey, Ghost, I like C's bonbons. Dusty goes, the Wiltshire is my memory of Pretty Women movie in her new life. Wake Shapeberry, if I remember, El Cid was a great Spanish general. Julissa goes, those were cool played. They were. I like old buildings. Regardless if they're haunted or not. For something they have like this appeal to them and a different style. It's like sometimes when you walk into these old buildings, it's like walking into a different time. Like they still keep the old vintage charm to it in some of these hotels and the lobbies. All right, guys, I am going to open it up for questions. Wake Shapeberry goes, I like spooky old buildings too. There's just something about them. They're just cool. And like the last one we were talking, the Jajorian, and how they said they hear a disembodied voice say good morning. I would say good morning back. Why not? At first I'll be like, good morning, and then I'll think about it. I was like, wait a minute, there's no one here. And then I'll be like, oh. Carol goes, I like charm of the buildings. They were cool. They are cool. Wake Shapeberry goes, it's the vibe. Very true. Sometimes, Chris, being at home is your best medicine, but sometimes you have to stay until to make sure everything's okay before you can go home. So just be patient and you'll be home in no time. Joanne goes, I can feel energy vibe in old buildings, but I know how you feel, Chris. You do, Joanne. You do feel energy and a vibe in an old building. Like it's just it's different. And I just like them. I do. They're cool. Or Wendy goes, or an old cabin. Very true. All right, guys, do you have any questions? Could be paranormal related, could be, it doesn't have to be paranormal related, could be about a movie, could be about a ghost that you saw, it could be about anything. That sucks, Chris. That's annoying. Heather, whatever goes, Chris Barber, tell them to spring you or we'll all pile into your room. We'll come through your phone, Chris, to rescue you. Thank you, Heather, whatever, for your PayPal. Hearts for Heather, whatever. Thank you, Heather, whatever. I appreciate that. Thank you for your PayPal. I appreciate that. Hearts for Heather, whatever, guys. Joanne goes, have you heard of the S Forest in Japan? I have, Joanne. I did a show a couple months ago about it. It was a live show. I did do a past stream about it, but I have, and it's one place if I ever go to Japan, it's one place I want to go to. I don't want to walk into it, but I want to go to and see it. But I do want to go. I have heard about it. It's crazy. The morgue at my work is having work done on it. There's no door. How many ghosts do you think are totally free now? Ha! That's crazy. Dusty goes, why does it seem there are so many haunted hotels in LA? That's a good question, Dusty. I mean, it is. I know there's older cities than LA out there, but it is an old city. So, but that's a good question. Wake Sheaf Berries goes, do you like Bob's Burger? It's the ears. The Bob's Burger, the cartoon or the adult, and it's more of an adult show. I have not seen it. If that's what the one you're talking about, Wake Sheaf Berry. Joanne goes, my friend just told me about it. I will check out the stream. I think it was a couple of months ago, but it was a live stream. Julissa goes, it's all the crazy Hollywood stuff that occurred. That is true. There's a lot of stuff that happened in LA. It's like most of the hotels I think in Vegas are haunted too. Joanne goes, I think most hotels have stories and dark sides. They do. They do. I believe it. Carol goes, "Isn't Bob's Burger a burger joint in the Midwest?" Well, we used to have, what was it? Big Boys, I think it was called. I think it was called that. It was kind of like a not the. It's coming up with Big Boy from one of the radio stations here. Not that's not who I want. Yeah, Big Boy. We used to have a burger joint. I don't know if there's any. There's probably one somewhere around. Though we used to have them in this area, but they closed down. Big Boy. Chris is like Hollywood crazy. Carol goes, I remember it was a Bob's Burger in Ohio. Heather goes, yes, it's Bob's Big Boy. I went there a few times. It was it was kind of like a it had burgers, but it had other things. Heather whatever goes, I worked next to one on Wilshire. I think Carol, I think all the Big Boys closed in this area too. There might be one somewhere. I know there's one somewhere. I just don't know where. I think. Guys, keep the questions coming. I will stay on for a few more minutes. Put that down. Joanne goes, we are getting a lot of rain here in South Ontario. Skeleduck. Carmen Eyes remind me. Skeleduck is right there, right where my finger's pointing. Before I forget, because I'm going to forget. Is right there. Right where my finger's pointing. Dusty goes, they keep tearing down the hotels in Vegas, but do you think the land the new ones are built on will care? I think they do, Dusty. I think they'll still be there. They'll be in the new place. Wendy goes, what is he doing? I just realized that was not a good place to put him. Now I get Brandon's. I'm looking right now. That was not a good position to put him in. Oh well. Exactly, Chris. Oops. Trust me, I was not even thinking that. I was just like, oh, this is a good place because he'll be blended in. Oh my gosh, now I get it. Woo! Oh well. You guys did not see that. Ducky does Skelly. Joanne. Bernadette goes, no wonder the skeleton has a huge smile. Oh my god. Wendy goes, happy. the duck. I thought, what a provocative position. I wasn't even thinking that till right now. Duh. That's all right. Note to self, do not put him there again. Chris goes, you did that on purpose, didn't you, Lisa? Yes, I did. All right, I meant no. I was trying to keep it rated G here, but it went a little rated X. That's all right. Oh well. All right, guys. Matthew goes, skeleton just had a snoo. All right, guys. Any more questions? I just realized that. I can't believe it. I can't believe I didn't put two. Duh. Carmen goes, Lisa, just put a privacy screen next time Skeleducks need love too. Brandon goes, summer of love. Carol goes, it would have been great if you had put the skeleton's hand on the duck's head. Bernadette goes, and while Trick or Treat is watching, Sam from Trick or Treat is watching. Heather Winter goes, them bones, never mind. I know, Brandon, you caught that, and I didn't know what you were talking about. Because I wasn't paying attention to what I did. All right, well, my skeleton's happy now. Dusty goes, you gave the duck a good evening. I will not put him there again, trust me. I was not even thinking that. Chris goes, I saw it too. I just didn't want to say anything. Carol goes, free show for everyone near them. Grayson Report after dark. Wendy goes, placement is key. Definitely. I am definitely. Carol Smart goes, the blue rabbit is watching. Yeah, the blue rabbit's name is Bubbles. Bernadette goes, bone duck in harmony. Chris goes, I thought maybe I was hallucinating. I will definitely put a picture of that. I'm going to take a picture of that. There is another skeleton there. There's two. And then there's a face hugger too watching. I have a face hugger ornament there too as well. Dusty goes, rated R tonight. Definitely. Definitely. No, rated X. Brandon goes, another face hugger. The things you don't realize, you do something you don't even realize it. How funny. Heather, whatever goes, the other skeleton is like, hey, what am I, chopped liver? All right, guys. Any last minute questions before I end this stream? We'll end it on a good note here. Heather, whatever goes, that's why ghosts wear sheets. Sorry, Chris, I can't help it. Stop laughing. Any last minute questions, guys, before I end this stream? We'll end it on a high note here. Carol goes, not knowing what you did is what makes it so funny. Exactly. That's the hilarious part. Lisa Boo goes, thanks, Lisa. Needed that laugh. No problem. Joanne goes, thanks. Great stream. Heather, we're good. Thank you for the laughs. Paradise and distant exposure is a beach. All right, guys. I am going to end the stream here. You're welcome for the laughs. And guys, I will see you on the next one, which will be Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be squared, stay spooky, and sweet nightmare, guys. I will see you on the next one. Good night, guys. You're awesome. You really are.